What's going on, guys? Back in Nom 61 here, and today I will be reviewing and going over Rockstar's hit of a game, LA Noire. If you like the video, hit that like and subscribe button.
A new type of city, based not on the man, but on the automobile, the car, the symbol of freedom and vitality. Where every man can own his own home, and have room to breathe, and not be overlooked by his neighbors. A city where a man's home is his castle, a quarter acre of the dream made possible by victory. A city of opportunists. A city of dreams, where Hollywood will shape the thoughts and desires of the entire planet. A city of pioneers. A city of dreamers. A city of undercurrents, where not everything is as it seems. A 20th century city that will become a model for the world. A city that has no boundaries, that will stretch as far as the eye can see.
This game still holds up after all these years, and in my opinion, it was ahead of its time. It has so many cool features, like playing the game in black and white mode, the way the investigations are done, and the time and the era of the game. It takes place during 1947 in LA, and it's such a beautiful place and game. Very true to the era, you'll see suburbs being built as you progress through the game, Nixon for governor signs all throughout the city, you got Harry Truman on the radio, and many other real-life post-war America stuff all throughout the game. The game does a great job of making you feel like an investigator and a cop. The side missions help keep the classic cop feel, helping in pursuits and fights and whatnot. And the cast of characters the game pairs you up with are really cool too. They actually feel like real partners, and they help you with the investigations and helping you call stuff in. So with the overview being done, I'm going to break down each section of the game. You start off as a basic officer and work your way up through the ranks. So starting off, I'll be doing the basic street cop you start off as. So let's hop in. So the game starts you off as a basic street cop. This is essentially the tutorial of the game. It has you gathering info and clues for the detectives, setting up perimeters, and doing the legwork of the case. There's only a handful of things to do during this portion, as it is only the tutorial. After that, it promotes you up to the traffic detective, which is what we'll cover next. So getting promoted up from a street cop, you get put in as a traffic detective. The game has you investigating LA's big traffic problems, which usually involve death and murder in some way. It has you searching cars, areas, houses, and questioning multiple people to help you solve the case. Once you find and gather clues, you get people arrested and interrogate them. Depending on how all this goes, you'll either pass the mission or it makes you go back and retry. After doing this a bit, you start to notice corruption in the LAPD, which starts to cause some trouble with your character. As you're fighting criminals and corruptions, you gain another promotion to homicide detective, which is what I'll cover next. This is where the game hits its peak. The cases start getting harder and requiring more clues, and most of the time you have multiple suspects you're trying to figure out. As you're going through these cases, you start to notice all the murders are similar, which then opens up a fantastic plot to the story. One I won't say to avoid spoilers, of course. This section does a fantastic job of having a classic crime feel from back in the day. This portion of the game is the best portion out of all of it. And the last two sections of the game has you working with Vice and the fire chief. And that part of the game, in my opinion, is just not even worth covering. It's not very fun. The way the game ends has a really cool twist, which I would encourage if you haven't played it, go up to it and play the whole thing start to finish to see how the game ends with the DLCs. But outside of those last two missions you have to do, the game is great. And to wrap up, I must say this game has stood up to time. I mean, it's roughly 10 years old now, and it's still fun. I think it came out in like 2010, 2011. I highly suggest this to anyone who hasn't played it. And that'll be my thoughts on this game. I hope this helps someone, and thanks for watching.